What is going on, guys? Samuel Reviews here. I'm back with another top 10 list for you guys. And as for today, I'm going to discuss my top 10 best movie directors of all time. Yes, my actual favorite movie directors. I was actually going to do a top 10 list, on top 50 list. This is actually going to be the next top 50 list. But I decided not to, honestly. I just thought make a little more sense, honestly, and so I'm working on one pretty soon, so hopefully I can have that coming in pretty soon. But here I'm here to talk about my 10 favorite directors of all time. Just I think all the best that I think I've always loved, and just I'll probably always get excited to release a new movie. Again, this wasn't easy, so bear with me on this list. So I still hope you enjoy this. Again, like every list I do, this is just my personal list, and I would love to know what would be your personal favorite directors list down in the comment section below. So, enough of beating around the bush. Let's get started with the list. Coming in at number 10, we have David Fincher. So David Fincher kicks off this list, and I was kind of back and forth between a few of my own mentions that I'll definitely get into later. I was back and forth between again. It was definitely easy and on that, but I ended up going to David Fincher on. But honestly, if I didn't end up watching his films earlier this year, he probably wouldn't be on the list, honestly. But you watch his films, you think how fucking great this guy's director. This guy's. If you're watching all his films during quarantine, man, I forgot how great this guy is as a director. He really is incredibly talented. Like, I may not be the best at times when it comes to. I know he can be infamous, but not hard to work with. But in terms of his talents, in terms of his directors, he is fantastic. I very much loved and enjoyed every single one of his movies. I feel that I'm definitely up on my top 100 favorite films of all time. The guy has proven to have really unique style and talent. He has a lot of great under this belt. Even some of his weaker ones, the films I can say are still pretty good movies. He is just improves out to be a great guy. He has made a whole lot. He's like 8 or 9, honestly. So, but he's still an incredibly talented director, and if he does, I'll be excited. I think has no coming this year, so I'm definitely excited about that. I'm definitely am. Now coming in at number 999, we have the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers. I'm excited about the Russo brothers on this list because they are incredibly talented people. I mean, I don't think they're talented even before. I think they're probably talented even before they started on the MCU. I know they were found on TV shows like Arrested Development, community shows I definitely still need to see, but I heard nothing but amazing things about it. There's probably some next episodes of that show. And for this, they did have called Yumi Dupree, which I think I actually don't mind, honestly, to me, but Winter Soldier definitely but every film they have done since Winter Soldier has been like Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame. It made probably some of the absolute best films in the MCU. Like all the movies are pretty much my top 5 MCU movies, and some of actually my favorite films of all time, honestly. They are endlessly watchable and incredible and impactful movies. They really have an eye for doing it. I'm not sure if they're gonna do more time soon, but anything they do, I'll be excited. I always look at some film that was put in Oscar from Tom Holland, so I'm definitely very curious to see what to do with that. But pretty much every film they've done in the MCU has pretty much been magic, has pretty much been fantastic and perfect in every sense of the word. And then and that alone must belong on the list. Now coming in at number 8, we have Robert Zemeckis. The only is Robert Zemeckis to be on this list. The guy is incredible. I mean, this guy is the person that brought Back to the Future. Like, people forget he was the one that actually directed Back to the Future, which is probably one of the best films ever made. And even a movie that still holds up well 35 years later. I mean, Back to the Future lasted for a freaking reason. He did the sequels. He also did Running to the Stone, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, another classic movie. He also did Castaway, The Polar Express, which I think is kind of underrated, A Christmas Carol. The guy's been to be very talented. And this guy also even did freaking Forrest Gump, which is in my top 10 favorite films of all time. The guy has a really nice sound. He has definitely some great talent. I mean, unfortunately, his subsequent movies like Allied and Welcome to Marvin have been great, but I'm definitely excited to see what he does. I'm definitely excited to see what he does with his next movie, both called The Witches, and apparently he's going to direct the live action Pinocchio, so I'm so curious to see what he does that. So I'm so excited to see what he does as director. Now coming in at number 7, we have Damien Chazelle. It's just that I've always seen 3 films. I've always done 3 films. I think there's been another one, but I have not seen that yet, so maybe. But it's one of the best with the least amount of films that made the top 10. But all films he's made, First Man, La La Land, and Whiplash, they're all incredible top 10. First Man is probably the weakest film, but it's still amazing that I enjoy more R&P viewings. And Whiplash, La La Land is in my top 50 best films of all time. Especially like Whiplash, and before Baby Driver, Whiplash was my favorite. Before what? Baby Driver, Whiplash was my favorite from the decade. It's technically kind of is in a lot of areas because it is a cool and powerful movie. And I'm not sure, La La Land I think is also another fantastic movie, and a movie that really brought musicals to life again. It's a truly wonderful film, and Russo really has a knack for telling interesting these type of stories and all that. But they are truly just wonderful movies. Russo really has a great eye for directing. He has a great notch for what he does. You can tell a lot of the passion he presents in a lot of his movies. And honestly, whatever he does next, I'm sure it's probably a masterpiece like the last. Like, he's done 3. He's that has the least amount of movies on this list. But I mean, come on. Well, I had to put Damien on the list because all 3 movies are probably masterpieces, and I can't wait. And I'm sure his next film mine will be. Now coming in at number 6, we have Denis Villeneuve. And the house has done like 5 or 6 movies, and because movies I still have not seen from him. But definitely has one of the most unique directors to ever, especially nowadays. The guy, in terms of directing style, is just wonderful. He blew everyone away with Prisoners, at least 2013, which was my favorite movie, which I would say is my favorite movie that year and one of my favorites of the decade. It's truly a fantastic movie and one that gets better every viewing. It's like some Enemy, but it's something I did not like at first, but actually grown to appreciate more on P viewings. Same with Sicario as well. I didn't like Sicario when I first saw it, but I ended up appreciating a lot more on P viewings. Then of course you got Arrival and Blade Runner 2049, which are 2 true masterpieces. I mean, both films are awesome. Pretty much those 3 movies at first is all my favorites of all time. Especially Arrival and Blade Runner, like both those movies are true masterclass in terms of filmmaking, and all of them are some of the most mind-blowing and best-looking movies you will ever freaking see. The guy truly is visionary. The guy, I think he was the best film decade. He was considered the best film decade for a freaking reason. And still something I think I have seen from him, but whenever that Doom film ends up getting released, honestly, I'm definitely gonna be there day 1. Like, I cannot wait to see what does that movie. Now coming in, now in top 5 people. Now coming in at number 5, we have Quentin Tarantino. Like, he's the one of those directors that you like. Yeah, this director that really is for everybody. Like, I'm not a lot of people are huge Tarantino, and I can see why, but I love this guy. The guy is definitely weird. I mean, the guy is freaking French crying loud, but the guy really has a knack for what he does. He's putting to make films that are definitely bloody and violent, but tells very interesting stories. And honestly, again, there really is a film he does I really don't like. Honestly, I enjoy Death Proof all things, and even his weekend movies like Kill Volume 2, and he still great movies. Pretty much all the movies I give like A+ to. Like, honestly, doing my ranking of his movies is probably one of the hardest rankings I've done, because all the films I gave A+ to are fantastic. I mean, not just Pulp Fiction. I mean, Pulp Fiction is a classic for a freaking reason. It's the reason why the film is so beloved as it is. But also all the other movies, like the first Kill Bill one, Big Unchained, Inglourious Bastards, even his first one, Reservoir Dogs. Like, he's a true masterclass filmmaker, and one I will always be saying. I know these guys have been 10 films, I'm not sure what's for me on that, but I'm sure that if it's next to really his last movie, he'll definitely go with a bang. Bang, 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 bang. Now coming in number 4, we have Hayao Miyazaki. You guys know, I'm sure most people know, because this guy's done a lot of Studio Ghibli movies. He's involved in Studio Ghibli. And he has done some of the best ones of Studio Ghibli, like, again, made up Totoro, Kiyo's Delivery Service, Roscoe, Princess Mononoke, Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle, Ponyo, and of course, The Wind Rises. I definitely still need to do my ranking of all Studio Ghibli movies at some point, so this is coming out very soon, but yeah, I think that's the reason why because this guy is proven to be a talent, so yeah, I had to put him on top 10. Now we're top 3, and now coming in number 3, we have Edgar Wright. Yeah, I kind of know what my number one's going to be, and I'm sure probably would know if you probably seen my videos, but I'll kind of put between my top 2, but number 3 is basically Edgar Wright. You didn't even say why I can actually be on this list. The guy is talented. Again. Pretty much every other film I've seen he's done, like Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, Scott Pilgrim, World Then, and of course Speed Driver. All those movies are pretty much in my favorites all the time. Like, all of them are in my favorites all the time. All of them are endlessly rewatchable, endlessly quotable, and just all around amazing rewatchable movies. Like, this is that has a lot of movies that are endlessly rewatchable. Endlessly rewatchable. Not sure. Again, all of them are pretty much A++ movies, in my opinion. Shaun of the Dead is a great zombie movie. Hot Fuzz is one of the most latest movies ever. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is one of the most quotable and most visually amazing movies ever. World's End is one of the most intriguing movies and most dramatic movies ever. And Baby Driver is one of the most fun, entertaining, watchable movies ever. And Baby Driver, I guess not Baby Driver. I guess I suspense Baby Driver. It was my favorite movie of the decade, and I even did a video on it if you want that out. But yeah, Edgar Wright is a true visionary. The guy is a true masterclass what he does. Again, he's the one that I'm always gonna be excited to see what his name pop up in. And when they release that horror class movies that have Anthony Joy, I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. I'm sure it will be. Now coming in number 2, we have Christopher Nolan. Honestly, Christopher Nolan's one of those directors that I honestly can't imagine anyone not at least liking, honestly. And when you talk about best directors, more like Christopher Nolan's gonna be on the list, and honestly, for damn good reason. I mean, there's a reason why Christopher Nolan's considered one of the best filmmakers of our time, and why people always get excited for his movies. And I will always get excited for the guy's movies, because he is a true visionary at what he does. Even from the beginning, like his film Falling, which I recently did watch, and I appreciate him a lot more than that as a great movie. Then he bumped up with Memento, which is one of the most mind-boggling and insane movies ever in terms of its structure. Then we got the underrated Examia. Then we have, of course, the Dark Knight trilogy, which is one of my favorite trilogies of all time. And then we also got The Prestige, one of the most incredible mindfuck movie. And then we also got the incredible Inception, which, I mean, it's Inception, and which also reached 10 years right away. It's truly a remarkable movie. Then we have Interstellar, which I think is actually pretty underrated, honestly, and a little hard-hitting, honestly. And of course, we have Dunkirk, which is an amazing movie. The guy has proven to be a true masterclass at what he does. The guy is a true classic at what he does. So I will always be excited what he does. And it's unfortunately what's going on with Tenet right now, but I'm sure that's going to be another masterclass of work. And yeah, well, so I'm sure most of you probably will know what would be my number 1. But before we do get to that, let's then entertain honorable mentions of I absolutely love. They just did not quite make the list. And those hand directors are Pete Docter, Rian Johnson, Martin Scorsese, Jon Favreau, Noah Baumbach, Sam Raimi, Matt Reeves, James Wan, Stanley Kubrick, and lastly, the film just barely hit my list, Alfred Hitchcock. I know. And it's really easy as it is, so bear with me, but they're all still amazing directors, they just did not make the list. So now, my number one favorite, it's fucking Steven Spielberg. Like, I'm sure most of you probably aren't surprised that Spielberg topped this list. I mean, come on. Like, I'm sure, like, if you follow my channel for the longest time, I'm sure most of you aren't surprised that Spielberg is my number one. I'm sure most people probably expect it to be obvious, honestly, that Spielberg would be my number one. I said many times in this video, I didn't do a freaking video where I rank all his movies. Honestly, see all, like, through the course I did rewatch all his movies, and I did do a two-part ranking on the channel if you want to that. I'll see that really, all these movies really confirms me, and honestly, I really, some people have done better than others. He definitely has some weaker type of movies, but the true testament this guy has really is incredible. Like, you ain't need to say why Spielberg is amazing. The guy is a true icon for a freaking reason. He's written some of the best movies of all time. He has written some of the best movies of all time. Again, his film Jurassic Park was the reason I fell in love with movies, so that's just know why Spielberg is my favorite director of all time. Like, I mentioned a lot, I don't think I need to mention why Spielberg is my favorite director of all time, because I'm sure probably expected an answer, but yeah, my number one is Steven Spielberg. Well guys, I hope you enjoyed me discussing my top 10 favorite directors. I would love to know down in the comment section down below, what are your favorite directors? What directors do you love? Do you enjoy watching the most? I would love to know down in the comment section down below. I have more top 10s and more videos, some ASMR videos coming very soon, so be on the lookout for those. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. I truly honestly appreciate it. If you're here, be sure to like this video, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe, be sure to follow all my social media sites, all in the description down below. I am Sarah World from Sarah World Reviews. I'll see you next time, and as always, stay cool alive, but peace.